Imagine this. You're sitting there, minding your own business, and suddenly, boom, your eyes start leaking. Like someone turned on a tap you didn't approve. Maybe it's a sad scene. Maybe it's a random memory. Or maybe it's literally nothing. And then you sit there thinking, wow, I'm broken. But here's the dark truth. You're not broken. You're exposed. People who cry easily aren't weak. They're not dramatic. They're not too sensitive. They're just living with a mind that feels things a little too deeply, and a world that punishes that kind of depth. So today, let's walk into the part of psychology people never talk about. The unsettling truth behind why some of us cry faster than others. Because crying easily isn't about tears. It's about a storm inside you that refuses to stay silent. You see, people think crying is a simple emotional glitch. But the mind isn't simple. It hides things in your reactions, in your triggers, in the way your heart beats when no one is watching. When you cry easily, you're revealing something most people spend their entire lives hiding. You actually feel. And nothing scares the world more than a person who feels everything. Let's be honest, crying easily is embarrassing. Society taught you that emotions are supposed to stay inside, bottled up, trapped behind a fake smile. So when your eyes decide to betray you, you apologize. Sorry, I don't know why I'm crying. Oh, but your mind knows. It always knows. Some people cry because they've spent years being strong. You carry responsibilities, expectations, silent struggles, until your body decides to whisper what your mouth refuses to say. Tears are just the soul's version of leaking truth. Others cry because they grew up walking on emotional eggshells. Maybe you were raised in a home where the tension was loud, but the people were quiet. Maybe you learned early that feeling too much was dangerous. So now, the smallest emotional shift hits you like an earthquake. Your system reacts faster, harder, deeper. Not because you're weak, but because your mind was trained to detect emotional danger faster than everyone else. Some people cry easily because they care too much. Not in that cheesy, I care about everyone way. No. You care because you've been hurt enough times to value things properly. You see disappointment coming before it arrives. You feel betrayal long before it happens. You sense abandonment in the smallest details. You read people too well. And when you care deeply, you hurt deeply. That's the rule. No exceptions. And then there's the darkest reason of all. Your tears are memories. Not conscious ones, but the kind your nervous system carries like scars. When someone raises their voice, your heart races. Not because of what's happening, but because of what happened before. When someone walks away from you, even for a moment, a part of you goes back to every time you were left behind. Your tears aren't about now. They're about then. You're not crying at the situation. You're crying at the ghosts hiding inside it. Do you know what's ironic? People who cry easily are usually the same people who never ask for help. You're the I'm fine expert, the don't worry about me specialist, the one who comforts everyone else while quietly falling apart. You swallow your pain for so long that it finally spills out through your eyes. Uninvited, unfiltered, uncontrollable. And here's the twisted part. People assume you cry because you're fragile. But the reality? You cry because you're exhausted from being strong. You cry because you've been holding back oceans. You cry because your brain is done pretending. Tears are not weakness. Tears are release. They're pressure valves, safety mechanisms, emotional smoke alarms. A mind that cries easily is a mind that refuses to die quietly. Psychology says people who cry quickly often have higher emotional intelligence. They feel empathy intensely. They pick up cues that others miss. They detect lies, tension, silence, and emotional shifts. Like a radar that never turns off. And that radar drains you. It's like your heart is always awake, always alert, always analyzing. No wonder the smallest thing can push you into tears. You're already running on emotional low battery. And there's another part of you people don't see. You cry easily because you love deeply. You bond deeply. You attach deeply. Your heart isn't just an organ. It's an archive. Every moment, every word, every tone stays there. And when your heart gets overwhelmed, it does the only thing it knows, release. But listen closely, crying easily doesn't make you weak. Do you know what makes someone weak? Not feeling anything at all. People who never cry have walls. High ones, thick ones, cold ones. Tears aren't a lack of control. They're proof that the walls didn't win. You're still human. You're still capable of feeling. And in a world that numbs itself with distractions, denial, and emotional shutdown, feeling is rebellion. Yes, crying easily makes life harder. You feel exposed, misunderstood, overreactive. People tell you to get it together when they have no idea how many storms you've survived. They mock your sensitivity, forgetting that your sensitivity is the same thing that makes you kind, intuitive, creative, empathetic, loyal, and real. People who cry easily don't just feel their own emotions. They feel everyone else's too. You absorb the room. You absorb energy. You absorb pain that isn't even yours. You're like emotional Wi-Fi, connecting to every signal, whether you want to or not. And honestly, that's not something to be ashamed of. That's a superpower most people don't have the courage to carry. But here's the dark twist. That same superpower is why you feel drained all the time. Why you break down faster. Why the smallest thing feels heavier on your soul. You were built with a heart that feels like a universe. And universes are hard to manage. So if you cry easily, stop apologizing for it. Stop seeing it as a flaw. Stop assuming it means something is wrong with you. It actually means something is profoundly right with you. It means you're alive. You're connected. You're human in a world trying desperately to avoid being human. And here's the final truth. People who cry easily are the ones who heal the deepest. Because you don't suppress. You don't bury. You don't numb. You feel it, you break down, you release, and you rise again. And that cycle, painful as it is the reason you'll grow stronger than the ones who pretend they never feel anything. So the next time tears fall without permission, remember this. Your mind isn't failing you. Your heart isn't weak. Your emotions aren't a problem. They're proof that you've survived things that should have destroyed you. And you're still here, still feeling, still caring, still fighting. If anything, that makes you powerful.